thing or not? It's just, what's going on? Oh, 1 second. 1 second. I've worked out what's going on. Here, 1 second. That was crazy. I just did my head in. How is everybody? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. For me, it's Saturday night, baby. Bit of Saturday night. This is what they want. Bit of Tiswas action. I haven't made my new intro yet. I meant to, but I forgot. I think it's either going to be basically exactly the same because I love Tiswas. Because, yeah, frickin' Tiswas. Just with the Comicscape takeout. By the way, what I was doing in this slot was talking to people doing Indiegogos, releasing their comics. If anybody wants to come on, they're still welcome. I want just to be clear. It's just like being dependent on that became a pain in the ass. No, not a pain in the ass. It became a job I didn't want to do. So I'm like, I'm happy to have everybody on, but it's just like the chasing people and managing it was just like, I don't have time. That's the bottom line. I got too much going on. Generally speaking, that's what one does this time of year. You will find that things that you have been used to rot away and end this time of year. Now, why is that? It's because I think it's it's part of the year that you're in. Let's say, we just had the Jewish New Year, where the world was your year was conceived, and now it's like in utero. Right, so that's essentially where it is, and it's the same analogy as the wheat cycle. Oh man, I am gagging up a storm tonight, baby. See what that else. So we tried coffee, we tried water. I don't believe that'll clean out the old sluices. Anyway, so it matches the agricultural cycle. So where we are right now is the seed rots, the outside so it can germinate, the bit inside can germinate, and that seed rotting, that's called the cleaper. The thing is the bits of last year you don't need anymore, right? So you'll find relationships ending, that sort of thing this time of year, and things like so. Yeah, it's how do I get onto that? I don't know, but this is basically like an all change time. Yeah, but how did I get onto that? There was a point. I don't remember. Anyway, hello everybody. Good evening, afternoon, good morning. So yeah, this is a new show. I'm just going to be going over the news of the week. So there's a lot, and it's kind of blows your mind when you look back just a week and go, man, that was a week ago. That feels so much longer, like the Dave Chappelle thing. Really? Although it got worse. I mean, This is the big battleground for them, isn't it? This is the first major cultural battle. For the first time an institution has gone, yeah, okay, whatever, right? Yeah, I realize that it's so funny. After the same-sex marriage thing went through, right? The LGBT people had won, right? I mean, they won everything they ever wanted in full legitimacy, right? I know, and they won culturally that nobody gave a shit. It wasn't a thing. Who cares, right? Everybody had gay friends. It's like it's not a big deal. Like the idea that gay people were different is just insane. Like we know that now because we live next to each other and everyone's cool with it, right? It's no. So, and yeah, I feel that while I oppose same-sex marriage because I think biblically that's a no-no, and it was supposed to destroy the world, and basically has, in my opinion, basically has. But anyway, I had my grandparents had lodgers that lived with them. These two ladies, Esme and Judy, and we never knew if they were friends. Actually, it never occurred to me. It was the 70s that they may be, a couple. Anyway, so when same-sex marriage came in, they got married, and I was just so happy for them, right? Even though I opposed it, I was just like, well, listen, they're so happy. So, I don't want to say. Well, it occurs to me that they won, right? Yeah, whatever. So, and then there was a faction there that didn't know what victory looked like and couldn't stand it, right? And they had to say no now, and I think they chose something that was literally a comedy sketch, and say, you got to pretend this is normal. Right, like the leaders sketch in Little Britain. They're on a train, and you just got to pretend it's normal. If you say anything, you're like, well, I tell you, man, it doesn't look like that. Look, drag queens don't look normal. I'm happy for you to do that if that's what. But don't it. It's the same as imagine people eroticize getting a pie in the face, get a pie in the face. And so, people sitting on the train with it, covered in a bit of apple pie with it on their face, right? It's like, this is my sexual preference. Don't oppress me. This is my love, right? And we'll have to take it normal. So, I don't see any different. It just one doesn't seem to be more absurd than the other. So that's what we do. So the reason I'm thinking about this right now. A show I like a lot, Foundation, had a perfect storm of SJW-ness, right? Just a perfect storm. I'm telling you, asked me you saw in the trailer. Yes, I did see the trailer. We will watch it together. Absolutely. That's 100% happening. I'm supposed to have a guest join me. I'm going to hang out for 10, 15 minutes. If somebody joins me, great. If not, we will start looking at stuff, right? What we will, totally be looking at. I remember we got the whole thing with the pie in the face people. It's because the Dave Chappelle thing, right? That's still going on. I can say it, and it just escalated. 1,000 employees on Netflix have threatened to walk out. I'm like they sound pretty replaceable to me, quite frankly. How would you get a bunch of arseholes out of your workplace, right? This is from Netflix. This works well. After curating a workplace of insane arseholes, how do you flush them out? You just do this. And it's like, oh, okay, and they all leave. Now again, this is this is not over. I'm intrigued to see where this is gonna go. I hope the guy, the Netflix CEO, is going to stand firm, right? It's just insanity, right? It's just loud insanity wanting to take him down. But we're going to be totally looking at the Doctor Who trailer. Look like they spent a lot of money. I looked at it on my phone, okay? But it looked like a lot of money been put in it. There's a lot more monsters. I saw Cybermen. I think I saw Daleks. Listen, they're going big. It's they're selling it, right? The only thing that kills it's Jodie Whittaker. What do you want me to tell you? She's just awful, right? She's just unbelievably bad. She makes everything not work. It's like you look at it and go, how? Just how? How could they just it's the same thing as the tea people, right? Again, if you're a bloke who wants to dress like a woman and whatever, okay, and you want to say you're a woman, fine, and you want to say you're a man who likes to dress like whatever it is you want. There's so many permutations, right? I'm cool with it, right? Just don't tell me weird shit's normal. Right? It's not. It's okay that it's not normal. Well, it's still not bloody normal. Oh yeah, man. Let's look at this. They got new graphics going. Look. I'll pull this up. They're giving it their best. Bless them. I mean, they really are. I'll show up this new graphic. I will rip this off for some reason or another. I'll take the piss out of it. Yes, that's going to happen. Here we go. That's the one. There we go. It's coming. It's like it, and then you see Jodie and Mandip. The anti-Viagra. and John Bishop's like, what am I doing here? But look, if she wasn't shit, right? That's it. If that was David Tennant, this might be interesting, right? But and it wasn't Chris Chibnall. But it is, and there's that's a big elephant in the room, right? That is a big old elephant in the room. I don't know what it's like. How did you get past that? It's crazy. Yeah, one second. Let's pull up Bounding in the Comics. We'll start looking at stories, then I'll get to the chat. 1 second. But bless them. I mean, look. They're going for it there, right? They're going for it's more of an effort than I think it deserves. I'll definitely say that. Okay, I'm trying. There you go. Oh, where did I go? Share screen. Go bounding into comics. Good. 5 minutes. Disney Plus Latina dunks on Star Wars sequel trilogy with a red flag meme. Don't really care. Be honest with you. Don't really care. Rumor DC Comics threaten to blacklist any freelancer showed it with Comicsgate. Well, what? That's not a rumor. They do that. That's how Comicsgate started. Because they blacklisted anybody who didn't agree with them. Well, yeah, just gonna make your own comics. They're like, okay, and they did, and they made more money. And they, well, yeah, well now you can't come back either. No, that's all move forward. Yeah, this is because I think Marvel and DC employees have been told to shut up by the management. I think management in general is just like, enough of your bullshit, okay? Enough. The world's on fire, right? That's what I think. I think the management in everything, they're like, oh, shut up. God, you whining cunts. Basically, that's what I think they're doing, right? I'm like, fine, I agreed with you with Trump, but now you're annoying me. Leave me alone, right? I think that's how the upper management is viewing all of this. Fine, let me get to the chat. Peter Urich, how are you, sir? Hell, yes, this is a new show. Darren, and greetings, felicitation. Hope all are well. Me too. Jonathan says, Tiz Wars! Yes, we like a bit of Tiz Wars action. Have you seen the new trailer? Yes, we will be. Glorified teaser. 1 minute, 20 seconds. I mean, really? I haven't seen it enough to, like, rip it apart yet, right? I haven't seen it, but it's like, and they certainly put a lot of money into it, right? It's, it looks nice. What can I tell you? I'll be watching it shortly. Comic Book Consequences wasn't pulling in its greatest audience either, but there were some awesome creators there too. What is Comic Book? Is that like a channel? Because you mentioned it a few times, right? If it's a channel, I don't know them. You have to point me in their direction. Darren Ames here. Cy Nix is here. How are you? Problem me. Oh my god. Okay. Far more exciting was the trailer that Problem Being has made for me than the Doctor Who trailer. Like, I didn't even. It's not even better. It's because it's my thing. It's just better, right? And it's like, honestly, it's like more dramatic and more. It's like it's better. It's just better. Anyway, so Problem Being, man, that was freaking insane. Oh my god! I tried to communicate that to you over Twitter, but I'm not sure I could quite. I get it. Yeah, man, freaking awesome. David Strawberry says, "Good evening, Rabbi. Hell, lovely people in the chat. Good vibes to all. We like good vibes to everyone. We're in October. We're getting close to bonfire night in England, which means Christmas food comes out pretty soon. Oh man, I love mince pies." I can't get mince pies out here, and I love like a good, Mr. Kipling, that one, or a cherry bakewell. Oh my god, man! I hate to admit it, but I am getting kind of like an erection just thinking about a good mince pie and cherry bakewell. Oh my god! I did it again. It twitched. Okay, that's how much I want it. Right? I'm not sure what sexual preference that makes me on the scale, but whatever it is, it's glorious. Cam, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Okay, Digby Stories, I already said hello to you. I'll say hello to you again. Never been one for the normal anyway. Well, yeah, I'll watch out for that. Yeah, the T people are getting too big for it. It's not they're too big for that. They're in a different fucking universe. I mean, like, Dave Chappelle just made a really valid point. Said, can we all just play by the same rules all at the same time, right? Can the rules stay constant for everybody simultaneously? We'll treat everybody equally. And they're like, have a meltdown beyond meltdown. And I will remind you, it started with a purely anti-Semitic joke. And God bless you, I love Dave Chappelle. I think he did it through ignorance, right? But I found that offensive. You know what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened, right? I was mildly offended. My head didn't burst into flames. My balls didn't drop off. I was just mildly fucking offended. And I got over it, right? Yeah, exactly. Which is the normal thing to do in these situations. Just it's like it's not that big. If somebody's taking the piss out of you, it's fine. That means they're your friend normally, right? Absolutely. Eastern Blockhammer, how are you doing, sir? Sontara, man, that looks shit. Oh my god, that looks so shit, doesn't it? Sontaran, it's man, and I was digging at Sontaran design, then I saw him moving. I was like, oh my god, that is freaking awful, right? That is beyond. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, so it's not 100%. It looks like a rainbow flag grained sentence and turned into a tentacle monster. Yes, I think that is a fair representation of our age. I mean, yes. I mean, like, basically, here, let's go back to that for a second, because you're making a very good point there. Here we go. Doing. Where is it? There we go. This one. This is a fair representation of the universes in reality. This thing, this flag, this rainbow flag, we let it grow out of control, and now it's a many-tentacle monster that wants to destroy everything. Right, that's what it is. Man, not good news. That's exactly what it looks like, right? Crew is up. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, how are you doing, sir? Peter Rich, 1 million prize to prove the existence of the paranormal. Never been, well, it's hard to do, isn't it? But prove the existence. Dr. Alex, how you doing, sir? So does the new Doctor Who trailer show the new Chibnall can write? I don't know. I have to look. Peter Rich explain. Okay, now go. Well, I missed a bunch. It must have jumped. Shoveled away for 15 million because he wouldn't sell out. Got to respect. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I do kind of agree with you. Although Seinfeld said about doing another season of Seinfeld, he said they kept offering me like money. I'm like saying at some point, you've given me too much money to be able to offer me money. Right? He says, like, I'm not, like, you've given me too much. I have more money than I ever know what to do in my life, ever. Give me more money. It's just meaningless, right? It's a tough position to be in. Alpha Omega, how are you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. There we go. Go for it. Oh, I nearly caught it. Dr. Alex, we're going to watch the trailer in a minute. I like the Sontaran design. I don't like the bloody movement. Fine. I think that time has come. Colin Archer, how you doing? Oh, I think you emailed me. I haven't replied yet. I do apologize. This is the second time you emailed me, and man, I feel bad. Listen, you just caught me as the Indiegogo was ending. I just got to click. I got to go through everything again for the American printers. Oh, Lana, before they can print the bloody thing. So that's going to be about another. That's like delayed. They delayed it without telling me. I was like, right, I just checked it because I thought it was ready to go. I don't know. Down the Sontarans, up with Dultarans. Aye, Dultarans. Let's go. Open a new window like this. Doink. We'll go to the YouTubes. YouTube.com. Exciting, is it? Oh no, I'm in the wrong window. 1 second. I will go to Doctor Who trailer. Doctor Who trailer. and then let's share the screen. Okay, that's like, all the mod con. Share screen. I mean, I'm probably going to get copyright claim, not struck though. Right? I mean, this is as legitimate commentary as you bloody get. Yeah, I'm just commenting on it. Okay, so right now it's the Doctor being scared and not knowing how to do anything. If we'd ever see it be competent, I would be okay with it, right? And your roots need to be done, darling. I mean, it's like, whatever. If she wasn't shit, right? If we didn't know she was shit, it wouldn't be such a problem.
It's happening again. Who are you? I'm the Doctor.
Wait. I hate to be blunt, okay? But most people in that costume weren't that skin color, right? So, Jesus, bloody Christ. Slavery was a thing. Racism was a thing. Pretending it didn't exist doesn't make it not exist. Freaking weirdos. These things are just weirdos. Okay, guest coming in 10 minutes. Fine, so we'll wrap this up by the time we'll get his take on things. Anyway, fine.
Who are you? I'm the Doctor. This is yours. This is done.
I mean, okay, that looks Dalek to me, right? That 100% look at the bumps over there. This all looks Dalek. So again, look, they're putting money into this. This looks, if it wasn't Jodie Whittaker, this will be exciting.
Why don't I know about this?
Because you don't know anything, okay? At what point, Jodie, does your dogs go, oh yeah, I know what to do? No, your dogs go, ooh, I don't know what to do. Ooh, icky thump. That's what your bloody doctor does. Is that Brendan? God, don't be Brendan. Don't think it is. Recognize the actor, though. I'm supposed to be impressed by the actor. Yeah, don't know what to do. Icky thump. Nice effect shot, though.
Yes.
It was a good costume. I hate to say it. If it wasn't Jodie Whittaker, I'd be excited. Now, what's she saying?
Who asked us?
What?
Who asked us? And who asked us?
Who asked us?
And who asked us?
Who asked us what? Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that looks shit. I'm sorry. What the hell? What a shit-looking Sontaran. Look fantastic in Doctor Who magazine. Yeah, no, don't work, mate. Let's go back again. Can I change the speed? Playback speed. Yeah, we'll do it slow, so we get it as much as possible. All right. Yeah, I mean it's too big as well, way too big. So they went for the two Doctor Sontarans, the shittest of the Sontarans, right? Well, that makes sense. That makes total sense, right? There you go. Udo back. They could have mentioned that. I mean, that's a big deal. They could have done so much more with this marketing. They should have had just a bus stand stop of these monsters of the Ood, right? Of weeping angels, I don't know. Now it's just like, I think they've lost interest, right? I think they've destroyed interest. But you've been back's a big deal. That would get viewers in, for God's sake. Focus on that. It's all your fault, darling. Okay? It's all your fault. Okay, just get that's the reality. It's entirely your fault, right? The you and Chris Chibnall. Okay, which actually she looks like she knows how to run this time. Maybe John Bishop taught her. Okay, let's have a look again. Is she more? Let's have a look. Also, I find these just like a very nauseating pair as well. These are like the absolute opposite of the Seventh Doctor and Ace. Like, there's no charm whatsoever. It's like and they love themselves so much. I kind of think some of this is my fault. It's all your fault.
Some of this is my fault.
Nah, she still can't run. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, let's go for that again.
It's my fault.
Yeah, do it in short bursts. That will be the character who replaced Captain Jack because they cancelled him. It's coming! Oh yeah, baby! It's coming! Okay. Listen, look! Looks like they put money in it. I'm sorry, it does. This is a strong piece of branding. If it wasn't shit, I'll be excited. Be ready. I'll be amazed if it's good. But like, good effect shots.
Final fight has begun.
Oh, shit-looking aliens, though. Man, they are really, really... I mean, like, let's go for some eyeshadow. Let's go for Doomlord with a bit of rocks in his face and some eyeshadow. Okay? That's exactly how that happened. Oh, my God. That shit. That's erased none of the ravages, I assume. Yeah, that looks shit. I'm sorry. Chris, don't try and come up with anything, okay? It's not your forte. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, yeah. It's not getting better. I'll be like, yeah, it's not getting better. It's, I don't know. Let's go glam. I like. Erase none of the ravages. Okay, fine.
Stay away from me.
One epic story. I mean, look. I mean, that looks Parker. I'm sorry. That does look Parker. And I do like the idea of Sontarans in the Crimea War. That's got to. Why are they so big? Man, I don't understand.
There's no use being squeamish.
Okay, so Weeping Angel's in. And then Jazz, who's slightly more wooden than a Weeping Angel, amazingly. Hey, keep pump. No, I'm not a lesbian, but I just want to do scissoring in the TARDIS. You want to do scissoring in the TARDIS? A bit of scissoring in the TARDIS. And Cybermen, I mean, like, and they look cool, for God's sake. Look at them. I love these Cybermen. Here, let's slow it down. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Best Cybermen. That was it, blimey. That's at 1/4 speed. This looks good as well. Man, this looks well directed. It looks like she knows how to run. I like the lighting of the TARDIS there. This is all good. I don't think this is going to be good. Okay, I want to be clear. I don't think it's going to be good. I gotta say, I mean, like, will this get views? Probably not. You know, it's like a good trailer can't undo the damage that they've done, I think. See, this is where the trailer gets ropey, where she appears. Yeah, listen, having John Bishop doing a comedy for was... yeah, having John Bishop doing comedy for was good. Having Jodie Whittaker, who's only done comedy falls. I mean, really? This is how she started her time as Doctor Who. Not much has changed. Still was ineffectual. No! Who's going to sizzle me in the TARDIS? But look at this. Great freaking effect shot. Sontaran ship's taken up, I think. Right? So I mean, bit short. Okay. I don't know. Is that all the good stuff? I don't know. But look, here. One second. For a comparison, Doctor Who. Let's do season 5. Season 5 trailer. Let's have a look at that. Okay. I did season 5 randomly. I didn't realize what a freaking awesome trailer it is, but here we go.
My name is Amy Pond. When I was 7, I had an imaginary friend. Last night was the night before my wedding.
You see, it really helps if you don't hate the person. Right? It's like, if you don't know this person's shit, it's like, oh, this looks like fun and fun and exciting.
My imaginary friend came back.
All of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will. Where do you want to start?
Oh, so good.
Anywhere you want.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's ridiculously good. Okay, this is ridiculously good. Hang on a second. Let me turn my camera on for a second, because we have a guest. We have a guest joining us to talk about these important things. He's joining us from the darkest reaches of the British Empire, an area where they barely have haggis. As far as I know, you have to hunt far and wide for it. It's of course, but he's royalty there, so I think he could order up a haggis. Like that. That is the power of it. It actually does say at the end of days we will all live like kings. That kingly royalty presence is of course here with Dan Hadley, Birmingham's King of the Geeks. How are you, sir? Your microphone's not on.
No, there we are.
There you go. There you go.
Gag, everybody. It was a great gag. I won't bother doing it again, but yeah.
Yeah, they'll never hear the likes of that again.
No, it's lost to the mists of time now. We're talking about nice things.
I was just doing a review of the new trailer. Have you seen it?
I have.
and so I did. I thought it was listen. It looks like they've put money and effort and time into it.
Does it?
I think so. Some of those effect shot looks good.
I've spoken about this for 2 hours. We've been recording the Type 40 preview of Series 13.
Okay, so then I was showing this Season 5 trailer to compare it to.
Yes, this is better. The general gist of it, I don't want to be a bastard about it. This trailer is the best thing. The trailer that dropped yesterday, that's the best thing they've ever put out under this regime by a mile.
Okay. You're fine.
But it's a low bar. And well,
I guess that's a fair point. Oh, look, shall we watch it together again?
Yes, hit me with it. I can't change my mind.
I literally just went through it, and it's only a minute long.
Yes.
I mean, I'm assuming I'm getting copyright claimed anyway, so...
Boris Johnson has...
Nope.
Oh, here he is, Russell. The other Russell, I mean.
Okay, one sec. My first impression is, this is so the 13th Doctor. Why she looks scared and incompetent and not knowing what she's doing? Right? I'm like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know. Is it the right button?
She needs a watch.
But fair effect shot.
Yes.
As I say, I think the effect shot was solid.
But isn't it very similar to that effect shot? Do you remember the trailer for the 50th anniversary with Matt Smith stood on that rock? All of this, the problem I've got with this, mate, is that most of it reminds me of something else.
Well, that's how they do it, isn't it? It's all karaoke. And it's the only way he knows how to do anything, Jim.
Yeah, very true.
Honestly, I think the same can be true of Star Trek. Going back to Star Trek, what's it called? Into Darkness, where they really had no idea what to do. So they had an original story for Star Trek, which was an interesting one. Like a time, I liked that story. But like they had nothing for Star Trek Into Dark. Oh, beyond since then. It's so strange, but they really didn't have a story. You know, I'm just thinking that's where Chibnall should go next. He should get a job with Star Trek.
It's funny you should say that because Star Trek, so it's we've talked about this at length this afternoon because I think there are great similarities. Oh God, please! I mean, I don't want to go down a tangent, but I'm pinning all my hopes on Russell T Davies, and that man is.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's like pinning your hopes on like a tightrope, isn't it?
What is he on about? What that?
Okay. So it's basically, if it's going to be good or bad depends on what his mood is in late 2022 when he starts to write it.
Oh God, yeah, hit us with a
trailer. That's really true, right?
Yeah, it is. So, I'm getting worried, mate. I'm really getting worried.
Okay, so where he is right now, in my opinion, where Russell T Davies is right now is intense frustration, right? Intense frustration. He knows his every raison d'etre has failed, right? Like he knows it. And he's powerless as well because there's no opposition to the Tory party, which he on along tribal lines hates.
Yes,
there's no opposition.
Totally partisan Labour, Russell T Davies. Without
yeah. But Labour's destroyed it. Okay, do you remember? Okay, when the Jews kept saying, this Jeremy Corbyn guy's a bad news for you, right? To Labour, and they're like, you bigots, you right-wing Tory. No, you're good. This is exactly what they were talking about, right? This is where Labour is right now. Is 100%.
They are a joke. Did you see any? Did you see any of the coverage of their party conference?
No.
It was like all it needed, all it really required was to have some lions jumping through hoops at either corner, and it would have been just like a circus. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and heavily. How can I put this? It was all comrade, and it was really far gone. They sounded like just complete lunatics.
Well, that's where Russell T Davies is. He's been pushed to mania because there's no opposition to the Tory party, who frankly are awful. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They're all terrible.
Too. Yep, I would hold with that too. I think it's all
like everybody's awful, and we're stuck with it.
The level of cowardice on display in British politics at the moment is at I believe now, and I was there when David Cameron was Prime Minister, but I believe that generally, and he was the worst of the worst. But now, across on aggregate, there is not any of them with a backbone anywhere. The Labour Party is nonsensical, and the Tories are all greedy and feckless. It's extraordinary times that we're living in, and very, very worrying.
Yeah.
But back to Russell T Davies. I mean, the thing.
Let me call it end of days, mate.
I would love to know why Russell T Davies feels that it's fair that in 2021, this is the man who's so prescient and so forward-thinking. Why does Russell T Davies feel in 2021 that it's perfectly reasonable for the British people to be forced to pay for the BBC TV licence? I would love to know that. If anybody out there watching the stream knows or has a link to somewhere where he defends this, I would be.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because conceptually, even though the truth of it is clear, right? He knows that he wants to believe the BBC are the BBC of up to 2015, when everybody loved the BBC.
Yeah, fair.
And I don't think he can cope with it. Even though he knows it to be true, which is and the reason that he's like hyper focusing on these very woke issues, because if he which are very external, because if he looks inward at his own, where he is in life and what's going on with his beliefs, he's in complete freefall, right? It's honestly, look, I mean, I know I certainly appear a massive right winger, and I am in a lot of cases, but I really think
I never think of you in that way, and I'm certain that
that's not because I'm like. To me, I'm like, people should be able to make a living, and we should care about each other, right? The two things should be going together, right? There should be a social conscience and ability to make a living, right? I do think it's good that we have with generally speaking, the harder you work, the better you do. It's the luck's a big factor, but work is the overwhelming factor in everything. The harder you work, the better you do, and I like that meritocracy. I think that's a good thing about capitalism.
Western civilization, capitalism is inevitable and important, and it's what keeps the wheels turning. And they're
doing their best to take it down.
They're doing their level best to destroy. Well, on the surface, they're trying to destroy Western society, and by they, I mean a number of different sections of the world who actually. Some of their own goals are in contradiction to one another, but because they're all sort of minded.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
No, in the short term, it doesn't matter, because the thing that all of those people have in common is they can never see any further than the end of their own nose, and partly because they're cowards too, and partly because they're midwits. Just it's. I don't. I mean,
that's a big one. Stupidity is a big factor. That's the other thing.
Rabbi, I am not a Mensa member. I am not the brain of Britain, but I can see this. I can see where it all connects.
Yeah, I mean, here's the trouble: our higher educational system doesn't penalize stupidity. I think that's probably a good idea.
Britain is. I mean, you could argue that Britain is historically famous for that. Ricky Gervais, when he was pitching the American version of The Office, one of his sort of main cornerstones when he sort of retooled that for the American audiences was that in Britain you can be horrendous at your job over a long period of time and nobody will sack you, whereas in America that doesn't fly.
and that's exactly why in the American Office, I think, like early on, about the 8th or 9th episode, we saw what's his name, his character successfully do sales, right? And he said, oh, that's how he's there, because he knows how to bring numbers in. I think, I see that.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a problem being said in the chat about us being I mean, this is the thing we are. I mean, the Tories aren't really any much that they're barely conservatives at all. And I'm generally speaking, I am somebody with conservative values. I voted Liberal Democrat most of my life, but it's very difficult to do that now because they don't really exist. And so it's But my values are quite conservative, and generally I count myself as a capitalist. But we do live in this undoubtedly left-wing society at the moment. And I hate to say it, because as much as I use social media is so much to blame for a lot of this. People who...
Although there is some kind of civil war going on between politics and Facebook, from what I can understand. Have you seen this?
Well, lately I have noticed articles claiming that, I'm not sure where they were from, it could have been from people based in the States. The general principle seems to be that Facebook is the last stronghold left of the right wing, the right wing.
Ow!
Oh, there are right wing people out there in the world.
YouTube is far more open.
Yeah. The idea, I mean, to most people, I'd say that Facebook, I mean, yes, Facebook is more lenient and more tolerant. Look, at least conservative people can have a Facebook account. Most conservatives have been drummed off Twitter. There's a massive difference. But that doesn't mean...
I get a lot of conservative news on Twitter. Jack Pozayevic, Candice Owens, they're all on Twitter.
Yeah, I follow. I think I follow Candice Owens. But generally speaking, I'd say that Facebook is a more tolerant and open place. I mean, the amount of times, and generally, I don't give a toss what people think. I mean, the things I've said publicly on Type 40 already, but particularly about Jodie Whittaker and all that kind of thing. But generally speaking, I don't care what people think, but I mean, all this stuff with Paul Cornell. Oh, we're going way off topic here. Play the trailer, and we'll give this a good kick in. I'll tell you what Paul Cornell's been up to if you haven't.
Wait. Did he do anything new? What's he done now?
Oh no, more of the same. But he's just we're up to now sort of Olympic standard douchebagginess. That the man is incredible and so transparent.
All his comments have failed. Like what? I like. He's right now. He's a has-been. He doesn't have anything going on.
That's probably fairly true. I think he still does that Hammer Horror podcast, and he's
makes money from that, right?
He's not very good on it. But yeah, I mean, this time what he's done is he is going on about all this stuff to do with Stonewall. And getting behind Russell T Davies' statements from a few days ago in the week, which I think that's a really complex subject, full of grey areas. And it's one thing for Russell T Davies to be quite black and white about it, but at least Russell T Davies is gay.
Yeah, at least he has a dog in the trades, whatever, in the race, right?
I feel so. When Paul Cornell, he's tweeted out that, I wish I had it because I don't want to misquote him, but I would hope that all Doctor Who fans are behind me in supporting Russell T Davies in his views, and just his usual stuff. You can see he's just no. I mean, as it's been explained to me, I don't know everything about it all, but as it's been explained to me, this is all very worrying. And now I'm starting to understand.
Well, I'm putting a video out on it tomorrow. I'm gonna play his speech. I'll stop and do a comedy. Basically, his speech is like, how is it bad that they have any letters over T? Like, why are people getting annoyed they add letters on the LGBTQ? I'm like, because you're a pain in the ass, mate, okay? Nobody gives a shit when you stop making us crazy, okay? Everything's fun. You know what I think? That I opened the thing saying, the show saying, I think after same-sex marriage went through, the only thing they could do is choose something really genuinely absurd and make us pretend it's normal, right? Like, we basically used something that was a punchline and a joke. Like, Monty Python sketches were based around it, right? Little Britain sketches were based around it. And it had to say, no, you got to pretend it's normal. Imagine if we live in a world where they said, oh, listen, there are people who like sexually fetish getting a pie in their face, right? And so we have to accept them so they don't commit suicide. The pie in the face people. And so there'll be people sitting on the tube with bits of apple pie crumbled around their face, and you can't acknowledge it because you're a bigot.
I mean, the thing that makes me worried. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more at stake in a TV show with all this, but it seems to me the big difference is that Russell T Davies has stopped. The man with this such a clear voice and an ear for the British public, Russell T Davies has stopped listening to people. He believes he knows it all, and I now understand. I haven't come to a conclusion about it, but as it's been explained to me, I now understand. It's been explained to me that under my own sexual orientation and what I'm attracted to, who I am attracted to, who I would find desirable, apparently under this doctrine makes me a transphobe. And
is that the difference? You don't want to suck somebody's dick?
Exactly. And
I don't want to either. Yeah, no, I'm a transphobe. I don't want to.
But apparently that makes us transphobes.
Yeah, it's super straight. They call us.
I don't think that Russell T Davies is listening to the other side to this argument and to deny the. And I'm not saying they're right or they're wrong. I don't know. I've only just started to find out about it.
Yeah, I still think it's good news though. I think here's why I think it's good news. Because I think everything depends on what his mood is in about a year from now, right? Think what the world's going to be a year from now. The world a year from now in all likelihood, is going to be very, very, very different, right?
I'd say so.
Right now, we're living in a world where they're grappling with the reality of everything they thought would happen is actually the opposite. And that's really what's going on. You know, they said Trump was the worst thing ever. Everything he did would destroy the world, and none of that happened. Everybody did very, very, very well. And the minute he left, everything they said would happen did happen, right? They have egg all over their face. And everybody knows it, and it's about to get a lot worse. It's like this is only when it's mildly inconvenient. You wait till Christmas, right, when the people don't have electricity. Yeah, shit's about to get real. This supply chain problem is a real deal.
It makes you wonder. I mean, have what was it? Mao's Great Famine. I mean, all these. It does seem to me that America. Oh God. Yeah, I mean, it is getting it's communism and these principles and the entire direction in which the it's ever since that election. I know we're not supposed to talk about this. I can't talk about it.
We can say, let's go, Brandon. You know what that means?
I don't know. No.
Okay. Oh my God. Fine. I got to find it. I think I have the clip. Here, 1 second.
Well, the fact that we can't even talk about this at all in any rounded way on YouTube is ludicrous.
Yeah. I like Crowder just got a strike because he accurately reported the story. I mean, it's like frightening. I'm getting the Will Wizzy. Oh, here we go. Let me have a look. Oh man, no,
that woman is so familiar. I can't quite place her.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that.
Doctor Who flux, I ask you. Bloody hell. What a dickhead.
Yeah. Is this the one? I think this is the one. I think this is the clip. This will blow your mind, okay? This will absolutely blow your mind.
All of our partners.
Okay. So this gentleman, his name is Brandon, right?
Okay.
In the background, there are people chanting, right? They're chanting something inconvenient, right? There's something that they don't want that the person on AB or the NBC doesn't want them to chant, and so she misreports the charting. Just listen; it's blow your mind.
Oh my God! It's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd.
So they're clearly shouting, "Fuck Joe Biden," right?
That's right.
Right. So she says they're actually saying,
"Let's go, Brandon." Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God! It was learning how each line didn't stay to one. Everything shifted top to bottom so much.
I mean, it got more noticeable.
Yeah, as it goes on.
Yeah, it's
Cuckoo
insane.
Land.
So that's why hashtag Let's Go Brandon means fuck Joe Biden.
Oh God! The word, fortification coming to a Western nation near you.
We are in strange. I told you, man. I think this is the end of days. I told you things were getting crazy. Yeah, here's the scary thing. I keep being right. I mean, I really do. Okay, my main prediction for last year, before the Jewish New Year, was America would see some kind of apocalyptic takedown that was equal to something in the some biblical plague, like in the 10 plagues, right? I said that would happen, right? So I contend that did, because we live in a world where we don't have magic. Magic was a thing back in the world of the Bible. Magic was taken out of the world about 2,700 years ago. Long story. Fiery lion wrestling, whatever. I'll tell you later. Anyway, but there's no magic. There was before, right? And so it was. It wasn't that so I contend that the biblical plague of blood was exactly the same as the fall of Afghanistan, right? It wasn't that there was some weird magical shit happening and the Nile had turned to blood, right? It wasn't that, which is like weird, right? It was like a very small, powerless nation was able to wield technology, or was able to have a victory where they shouldn't have been possible to have one, using the technology of the of their enemy, basically. Which is exactly what happened in Afghanistan. Like it shouldn't have been possible, right? America is very strong. The Taliban is very weak. It shouldn't have been possible. It shouldn't have been possible to lose $85 billion worth of weaponry, right? It shouldn't have been possible, right? But it was.
It seems absurd, even 2 or 3 months after it actually happened. It does seem unlikely.
Yeah, it's It's yeah. So and again, I just think by Christmas, I mean, it just looks like normally by the Christmas we're going to see like a time of a great discontent anyway. With this, like, there's no way of avoiding it at this point. Like, you're gonna lucky if gas gets out. They're in real trouble.
I mean, yeah, it's I've never known an international time like this. I was listening to a speech that Ronald Reagan gave in around 86, 87 the other day, just on YouTube, and it reminded me of how the world used to be, and how, I don't know, how we seem to all be pointing generally in the right direction, with a little bit of to and fro every now and again, every few years, but things were generally going in a much more kind of, and I think mostly together, particularly in the early to mid 90s, and now.
I don't know. I think we came off the rails in 1967. I really do. I think we came off the rails in 1967, and it was gradual. I think the 80s was a big deal. I think the 90s was reasonably quiet. But basically, I think same-sex marriage is the thing that destroyed the world. It just seems to be that's the thing that triggered the insanity.
I'm going to say it's not like any of us had a problem with that. I welcome.
Oh, I
it
did.
Just as much as
I
everybody
totally
else.
did.
Now you say that it was a bench.
I was fine with civil union. I thought that was, and gay couples having the same rights as straight couples. I mean, obviously, calling it marriage, I had a big problem with it.
So do a few people of faith that I know. Now you've mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, look, I have the same rights. Obviously, I have no problem with that. But look, I think marriage. The word marriage means is defined as a biblical concept, which is between a male and female, not getting two beings that love each other. It's very, very specific. Now,
obviously, language changes all the time, doesn't it?
No. See, here's the thing. You know how many the Torah scroll, the Bible scroll we have in Judaism. Have you ever seen one?
No. This is where my ignorance shows itself again.
Okay, it's fine. Don't worry. Here, what's that? I'll pull one up here. Yeah, that's it. So this is the Old Testament, right?
I saw a video that you made the other day on Israel. And it was only a 15-minute video. It was fascinating. I didn't know any of that. And if anybody out there hasn't,
I have no idea what the video. What video was that? It sounds like
I can't remember. It was really good, and very, the things that you were saying and how you explain them to somebody like me who is very sort of ignorant of world issues, really.
You seem to be doing fine. Anyway, so here. This thing is called the Torah. This is the Old Testament.
Oh,
right?
I've seen those. Of course, I have.
Yeah, fine. So there are. So there's something like how many different versions of the New Testament? There's like 20, 30,000 different versions.
Okay.
You'll say about this. It's like a very high number, right? I believe it's a very high number. Okay,
yeah.
Fine.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So there's only 6 different versions of these, and all the versions are a silent letter. Whatever, there's one silent letter they replace for another one, and that's it. Because for us, we keep like the letter very, very close. Like it never really changes, right? So that's really there are only 6 different versions, and there's only really 2 that's in use. But yeah, no. So like we take the word seriously.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. Let's go back to the trailer. Having said that, I think the world's going to last long enough for us to see. Yeah. Sadly. I'll
try and button my sarcasm until we've watched a bit.
If the apocalypse comes before Star Trek Discovery starts, that's even better. Okay. I think we're all cool with it. But anyway, so we have a famous actress. Christian was happy with himself.
Again. Who are you? I'm the doctor. This is yours. This is done.
Oh, I know exactly who that's supposed to be. Big Finish did an audio about her as well. Was it? She's this woman in the Crimea War. She's a black woman in the Crimea War who started up a hospital for the soldiers there, right?
I recognise that because of the bonnet and so I thought it was Fatima Whitbread at first, but it's the whole the bonnet and the cloak and stuff.
Okay, so look, here's the problem you're running into with this, right? And it's unfortunate. I just watched this week's episode of Foundation, and it was really bad. It was really good and really bad at the same time. It's very different Star Trek Discovery in that the quality is always reasonably pretty darn high, right? It's very, very similar to Star Trek Discovery in that they make race and gender a real issue. So they got this one main character who's a stunning and brave black girl who's the key to everything with strange superpowers, right? You have her storyline going on, and you have another storyline going on about a stunning brave black girl who's key to everything, who has superpowers, right? So, and I'm not joking, right? At least one of them's feminine. The feminine ones, but so they had they moved the feminine one off the stage at the end of the second episode, and then they put this new one in. Like, oh, look, you got another stunning brave black girl. How incredible, right? And she's not. It's a masculine role, and she's not really good at bringing it. Okay, so what we have in this episode, and then we got Lee Pace. He's playing the Emperor, right? Lee Pace is freaking incredible. Okay, he is just so good in this role. He's made for this role, right? And it's a really fascinating bit of world building. But this week he's not in it. It's just the stunning and brave black girls. They go AB each other, and like, oh god! And then at one point you got the stunning and brave black girl in the masculine role fighting another stunning and brave black girl in a masculine role, who's the head bad person. And you know, the reason why Lee Pace's character is interesting is because he's a white man. Because they're the only things that can have any nuance or color to them, right? Can have any, yeah. But if anybody's on the progressive stack, they must be perfect. And they're boring, right? It's boring more than anything. And what they did with this. The feminine character, they showed you more of a background, and it was boring. Firstly, a lot of it was swipes at religion, in just saying how stupid, and then talking about how religion is the people who want to silence any opposing voice. Excuse me. I think you'll find it's your side of the fence, mate, that doesn't want to let anybody talk.
I've been hearing good things about this show and how the Asimov.
It's very good. It's very good, I tell you. But it's like episode 5 is stunning and brave black girl and stunning and brave black girl. Like you can get away with it once, twice is stupid. Like come on. Anyway, it's all about stupid. Okay, so we got stunning brave black girl. Oh god. Yeah. And you can see it's going to be dull because they're all going to love each other because they're all stunning and brave black people, you know, or people on the progressive stack.
Oh yeah, it's going to be loaded. Oh,
clearly Daleks, right?
They look like Sontaran ships to me.
Oh, I think you're right. Actually, I do think you're right.
They've got those prongs going down. It looks like they're being brought out of a factory.
Yeah.
Why don't I know about this?
You don't know anything, okay? That's why your doctor doesn't know anything. You never go, oh, Sutek, Last of the Sirens. Like, Icky Thump, who's the doggy head person? Like, that's your, oh, God, she's so shit.
She looks totally clueless. She's been playing this role on screen for over 3 years, and she looks completely lost.
Yes, exactly. So he looks familiar. Who's that?
I don't know. Don't recognise that guy.
He looks like I've seen him and stuff before. He looks like he's not Brandon, is he? I don't think he's Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Oh, that was the name of the guy, wasn't it? Brandon or whatever.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, some bloke. He looks familiar. I think that looks good. I have to tell you. Doesn't look like the purple-haired alien little boy to me. That actually looks quite. I could go.
I think it's an unfortunate angle that this is at because it makes it look like he's winking. Did you ever remember when you're a kid and somebody buys you like a cheap cuddly toy and the eyes have been stitched in sort of boss-eyed, half in and half out?
Yes, I do know exactly what you mean.
But I think that it's just the way the light's catching it there. Look,
Yeah,
anything
honestly,
is a step up. Rabbi, anything's a step up from Orphan 55 and that sort of weird.
Right. So listen, if this was in a David Tennant or a Matt Smith episode, I wouldn't give it a shit.
True.
Or Capaldi.
True.
Which is basically what. Yeah, I try and be fair. Okay, now this is a disappointment because I love the Sontaran design, but when I see it in motion, I say they're too big, and it just this does not work. Yeah, come on.
Have they gone back to making them quite tall again?
I'm sorry?
Have they gone back to making the Sontarans tall again? Are these two doctors?
Yeah, I mean, like, really, you're modelling Sontarans after the two Doctor Sontarans? You're going for the shittest Sontarans possible.
I like the general redesign. I like the.
I liked it, but now I see it in motion. It doesn't work. You know, it's just. I'm sorry, it don't work, mate. And they're too big. I bet they're just too big.
Now you've mentioned it. I see what you mean.
Uda back, like they could have been marketing this all summer. Like you could have had bus ads of just the Ood, right?
Yeah,
the Doctor Who Flux coming this winter.
These are the nearest things to icons that the new series has got. The Ood and the Weeping Angels.
Right. Slitheen would be big as well, I think.
I can't help feeling that some of this is my fault.
That looks
entirely your
cheap.
fault.
That looks cheap as hell. That effect. There are numerous effects in this. I mean, this looks like they look like effects and sets from a 1990s episode of Red Dwarf. You would not think that was Doctor Who.
I think it looks more like what's that? Was it 1990s, 2000? Not quite Farscape. It was the other one, Lex.
Lex, yeah, completely.
And they're just I don't know. If you didn't know how shit they are, I mean, you would know because just seeing them, you can see how shit they are. But
you can also tell that they're lying on their backs; they're not actually upside down.
Right. Still can't run.
Maybe we should have brought that to you a little bit more gently. What is that?
That'll be the person who has to replace Captain Jack. It's coming! Oh!
See, another crap effect. Effect.
And what a crap-looking monster.
Yeah, it's the Shadow.
And
Armageddon Factor.
No, this in the script it says we want it to look like Doomlord with some eye makeup and a bit of rock in your face, okay? And no problem. Doomlord with some eye makeup, rock, and a bit of crystals in your face. We could do that. He loves crystals. He loves things in faces. He thinks that's scary. Maybe he's just the pie in the face. Maybe that's his thing. He's trying to get equity for people who get sexual gratification for pies in the face. Yeah, good for them. I get how many less was that add to the sexual SG
at least 3 or 4
FPIF. Fine, that's a lot. They got another 6 letters right there. Yeah. The people who get sexual gratification getting a pie in the face. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, they did look better, when they could do the female one. Oh, hey, is that a race known as the Ravagers?
When you see them very fleetingly, these creatures look okay, but when you actually can see them, it's not good, is it? This looks.
You're going to find the writings like that as well. It's going to move very fast, and so you don't know what's going on.
Stay away from it.
Although that I think is a pucker effect.
That is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, really that's a good effect.
There's no use being squeamish. We've got the future to save.
Oh, and again, the Cybermen are back, and the Cybermen looking good, right? I mean, this is the best of Cybermen I've ever looked.
Love
really
those
is.
Cybermen. Yaz still looks confused and hollow.
Yes. Although, again, this shot is really nice. The setup of it is really good. The lighting of the TARDIS.
The TARDIS, yeah.
Unfortunately, she's in the middle of it, but what can you do?
We got Venom twin.
And, like, why is her falling always so annoying? I'm like,
because
really?
That's all she can do. Run around or with her arms flailing in the air, pulling a funny face. That there is no character in there at all.
There really isn't, is there?
No. Yaz looks as empty as ever. And I have to say, John Bishop looks like he's barely acting. At least, Brad. Yeah, he's just stood around there. At least Bradley Walsh could act. I have got my severe doubts about John Bishop having seen this trailer. He looks bewildered.
Did you see my thumbnail? Did I drop it on Friday? I think I did.
I saw it. All right.
Yeah, kid. Where's Tom Baker show? I'm like, that's really the vibe you get out of it, isn't it? That he has no idea what's flying.
No, but not a clue. You couldn't tell. The guy didn't. He turned the job down once, and he only ended up doing it, as we know, because there's bugger all else to do.
Of every club in the country, did he say, "Oh, okay then"?
And he looks, and that's how it looks. He looks like he's waiting around, waiting for the pubs to open, or waiting for the phone to ring, and his agent to say, "Right, you're at Norwich, you're up in Norwich at the whatever theatre. Get your ass up there for 9 o'clock. You're on at past."
Right.
He looks like he's just standing around waiting for a booking.
Basically it. I was going to say, Film Internet founder Chris Gore says he would erase franchise reboots and redo the Star Wars sequel trilogy if he ran a studio. I agree with him. That's the only thing you can do with Star Wars moving forward. Just redo. Just forget the sequel and redo it.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
New study suggests woke culture and pandering has had limited impact on LGBT mental health and suicide rate. Yes, we know that.
Imagine my surprise.
And when they say LGBT, the stats for the LGB part are very different from the stats for the T part. Okay, like 98% of the suicides are the T part, right? It's like crazily weighted that way.
I think the idea that putting storylines like this into comic books that the section of society they're talking about don't buy is insane. The idea that they felt that could have any impact, and this thing with Superman again, ridiculous. I've got no problem with them turning Jonathan Kent bisexual whatsoever.
Oh, I do. I totally do.
But then
100% have it's not bisexual. It's just gay. You have to never date a girl again.
Yeah, but you kind of have to take them if that's what they're stating. But I hadn't necessarily got a problem with that. I've got a problem with the fact they've done it a few weeks after they did exactly the same thing with Tim Drake. And Tim Drake was an established character who wasn't bisexual. Whereas at least this is a new character, and I never knew anything about his orientation before, whatever. But when I read a list of the stories that are being told in this about climate change and all these other things, that is what
so he's protesting climate change instead of actually being super.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I forgot. We were A-Bing that trailer. We're going to look at that trailer and compare it to the season 5 trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wish it was.
My name's Amy Pond. And I had an imaginary friend.
Story, character, spectacle. Boom, boom, right away.
And it's you know how you know it's a character? She has flaws. She's selfish. She does stuff, and she vain, and she wasn't not nice to her. She kind of grows up in Doctor Who in the character.
In just 10 seconds, we've had character, we've had courage, we've got joy. It's just wonderful.
So when we had Amy, Rory, and River Song in the TARDIS with the Doctor, was any of them lost? Did any of them not get their storyline told? Did we not clear anybody's character? No, we knew everybody. right? It's just because it's just written competently.
My imaginary friend came back.
All of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will. Where do you want to start?
Oh, this looks so much better. It's just like, come on, let's go back to that fake shop. Oh, but that's one of the best openings ever. The what was it? The Time of the Angel, whatever this one was called.
Yeah.
Flesh and Stone. Oh man, it's a good effect shot.
It still looks good, like 11 years later.
Sorry?
It still looks great 11 years later, all of this stuff.
It does, doesn't it? It really, I mean, it's exciting. And you hear that music, that Murray Gold music.
Anywhere you want, any time you want. One condition, it has to be amazing. Now it starts.
You might want to find something to hang on.
Oh, it was so good.
It begins.
And everything's new, right? It's not. It doesn't feel like it's reheated. It's redone. It's karaoke. It's pushing things in a new direction, but it's familiar and it's still Doctor Who. Could have done without the Chibnall Tooth partner. Okay, that's the only bit where it falls apart.
This is such an exciting time. There's so much promise.
Right, look, it's
promise of characters, an incarnation of the Doctor that we didn't know yet, a companion we didn't know yet, and
right.
all there, all to be discovered. It's just wonderful.
Tell me the whole plan. One day that'll work. One simple instruction. Don't follow me under any circumstances.
Will you follow him?
Of course.
Because this is what I do. Every time, every day, every second. This. Hold tight. Because it will change your life.
There's one thing you never put in a trap if you're Spock. If you value your continued existence, if you have any plans about seeing tomorrow, there's one thing you never, ever put in a trap.
Oh, so good, isn't it?
Me.
Oh, so there's a ton more monsters. That's something that really struck me, right? There's like, I'm like blown away all the monsters I saw in the Jodie trailer. There's a ton of monsters in this. Like, I want to keep stopping to talk about it, but it's too exciting.
We haven't seen any of these any creatures for 3 years. We've been fed on breadcrumbs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very exciting, very exciting. By the way, I listened to the third Dalek Universe release from Big
Any
Finish.
Daleks at all?
Yes, the Daleks. But okay, here's the thing that annoys the crap out of me now, right?
Okay.
So this one, we're very much into the 80s Dalek stories, right? We get we're really into the Destiny and those. What's the name of that? What's the name of the Peter Davison one? Revelation? No.
Resurrection?
No, that was Colin Baker.
No, that was Revelation.
What was it? Revelation. Well, anyway, so we're really into that kind of film. And Terry Malloy's Davros, freaking awesome. So then I finally realized what this series should have been. Box set 1 should have been 60s Daleks, right? We should have got like very TV 21, that sort of like film.
Yeah.
Box set 2 should have been 70s Daleks with Ogrons and things like that, right? And Draconians. That's what it. And Box set 3 should have been 80s Daleks, and that would have been epic. Would have been awesome. As it happens, the final 2 stories on this are, I would say, very, very good, right? Excellent.
Okay. Is that the last set of the third one?
Yeah. So don't bother getting the other 2. Just get this one. And the third story, they got River Song in it. It's like feels kind of shoehorned in. There's and it just doesn't really gel. At first, I blamed it on the writer Elizabeth Miles. Because I figured, oh god, another diversity hire. Clearly she's female. Clearly it's a diversity hire. Then she won me over in the extras talking about it. And she explained the problem with the script, which I completely heard. It didn't gel. It was like there's no real reason for River Song to be there other than it's fun to show up, right? It's really the only
Elizabeth
reason.
Miles is the one who co-hosts that Hammer Horror podcast with Paul Cornell, by the way. They're close friends.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm sorry?
It's not what you know. It's who you know.
That's very true. So wait. What were you saying about Paul Cornell? The Hammer thing?
Elizabeth Miles co-hosts that Hammer Horror podcast with Paul Cornell.
But what about it?
They host that show together, that podcast.
All right. But why are you bringing it up? That's why I'm confused.
Because it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. I hear it.
I feel what I've seen.
No Time to Die Star says he doesn't go. He goes to gays bars to avoid the aggressive dick swinging in hetero bars. He is just being so woke. Bullshit. Leave me alone, you woke piece of shit.
I've seen Daniel Craig. This actor is a hero of mine. But when you see Daniel Craig compared to James Bond, that man goes where his wife tells him to bloody well go.
He goes where? What?
He goes where his wife tells him to go. Is the impression that I get.
Yes, it certainly is. But but it's always virtue signaling. I'm like, mate, you're James Bond. Give it a rest.
Yeah,
right?
Pay no attention to Daniel Craig. Pay no attention to Daniel Craig whatsoever. And I firmly believe that it was his creative input that caused that big plot point of the last James Bond film, which I strongly disagree with.
Again, for me, the Daniel Craig Bonds are in their own bubble. I think it's fine to end that bubble with that ending.
I'm fine with it happening. I think we've spoken about this before, but they should never have shown it to us. I believe that he insisted.
I agree. I do agree.
I believe that he insisted on there being no doubt at all, just in case. I think he didn't want people to be asking him if he was going to make another one for the next 3 years. I think it was that simple. I think he put his own needs above that of the character and of the audience.
Yeah. I do agree. Anyway, was it George Takei is very jealous. it's like
what is this?
Mad.
What is this man's problem? He's a few years ago. He was another one. He was a hero of mine as well. Okay, so
I was just listening to a video from your boy Zach about this, and he says the video title is "What do SJWs hate more, space flight or black people?" So that's the quadrilateral because they're equally mad about William Shatner going into space and Dave Chappelle being on Netflix, right? So and this ties into Russell T Davies. This is the vibe going through the whole woke crowd right now, which Russell T Davies does because I think he's a generally decent chap. I feel he feels he's got to demonstrate loyalty to them at all times, solidarity. And the vibe going through that whole world now is tantruming, right? Because it's all they've got. They tried to get Dave Chappelle fired, and he's not, and they're tantruming. And the people trying to get him fired only have jobs because people tune in to see Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. And they've suspended that person. Is it a woman who, the showrunner of Dear White People, they've suspended her. So
good.
The culture war is ending. They've run out of other people's money to waste. They've run out of properties to destroy. It's all been destroyed. The culture war is pretty much almost over by default.
Right.
What next? What are they going to go on to next? They're going to be faced with the fact that none of this ultimately. There's nothing to win. There's nothing to win anymore. They're empty victories because they've mined the battlefields in a sense. They've removed large.
They've salted the earth.
Yeah.
Right, like it's like. Although I think you could turn any of these franchises around by doing something good. I think if you do something good, people
and that will happen, and that is what is actively going to happen now because they need to start making. They've run out of money. They need to start making money again, and that's why you're getting them so salty.
Well, but not with the Star Trek world. I mean, that new Discovery is coming. Is it going to be on Netflix?
In the UK, I don't know. I would imagine so. They've got nowhere else to put it. They will give it them for nothing if they have to. They will make sure that remains on Netflix.
I hear it. If I was Netflix, I'll turn it down. But like, be honest with you, if I was Apple, I would buy CBS. I think that'd be a great acquisition because then they'll have Star Trek, and that's like a reason to subscribe to their service. And there's
I don't see why they'd want to buy Star Trek how it is now, but I can see why they'd want to buy CBS to get their hands on NCIS or something like that.
No, but I think that will drive people to their streaming service, which isn't bad. Again, that thing that's got foundation on it, which up until this episode, oh God, so many stunning and brave black girls. It just being stunning and brave. It's just, something that really drove me nuts about it as well. It has such an SJW view of science in it, right? So that one of these girls. She's on a planet that there's religious totalitarianism. You're not allowed to study science anymore, and her mentor and friend gets killed for trying to save this important equation book, something or other, right? And he gets drowned with it as his punishment. So she dives down. This is her backstory. We're finding out. So she dives down late at night and gets the forbidden text, and she starts reading it, and she likes it, and it's got this centuries-old question in it, which she solves and has transmitted to the through the black market, has transmitted to the center of the empire, which brings her into the story, right? But it's like everything is about her just being brilliant, and I was like, oh yeah. So her thing is, you don't understand. I've done the math. The climate's going to change, and the water's going to rise. There's nothing we can like. Science doesn't work that way. It's like I've done the math. Oh my God.
I believe science.
Yeah. I like the science. No, you don't. You don't understand the science. You don't understand. Like, and you.
How many episodes is this Foundation show going to run to? I mean, could they undo everything you liked about the first 4 episodes? No, I mean, I still didn't like these two stunning and brave black girl characters, but they were in the first episode. It was about the science genius, right? And this character, and they portrayed her journey as a very interesting one, right? She's made like genuine struggle and sacrifice to get where she is. They played her as a feminine character, right? And then you had all this very interesting world building with this galactic empire, which I really found fascinating. I love the Emperor, which is played by Lee Pace. The idea with the Emperor is there's always 3 of them, and it's the same clone. It's clone of the same person. You got an old one, a younger one. That does sound good, yeah.
Yeah, and so they raise each other. They make a weird family of themselves. But so that whole thing is interesting. I like that. But it's played by Lee Pace, who's really, really good. And he's also like layered and evil and good, and all these things. So it's so that's really good. So having this like mass genius was fine. Okay, I could just about go. But then they go to another location 35 years in the future, and there's this another stunning brave black girl who's very masculine, who's in charge, who's the protector, and also she's the key to everything. I was like, again? But they then shunt the science one off the side for a couple of episodes, and they just focus on the masculine one, which I'm like, okay, fine. Now they bring them both in. I was like, enough.
Yeah, well.
Having said that, the story's interesting. I'm on board for the story. It's really good. But I have no idea if it's any way reminiscent of Foundation.
I couldn't. I know very little about Asimov. I think I read some when I was a kid. Didn't understand any of it.
The story is really compelling. I say it's well worth a $5 a month subscription, which is what Apple TV is. There's a bunch of stuff on it as well. But like, if they had on it like a genre thing, like if they had a Star Trek, if that's my one place to go, I can get all Star Trek streaming instantly to my phone, and all Star Trek content, right? And they start making new content as well, and they like have something smart who understands the actual property, then that'll be great. You can put Star Trek Continues on it, right?
I can't see any hope for Star Trek at the moment. I did have hope for it at cinemas for a while, but it seems that's what.
Rehiring. What's his name? Kurtzman. It's just insane. So anyway, asked by Page 6 his thoughts on Shatner's spaceflight while speaking at the opening of the Broadway play The Thoughts of a Colored Man. Oh, God. Takai mockingly told the entertainment news arm of the New York Post, he's boldly going where other people have gone before. Oh, he's a guinea pig, a 90-year-old one, and it's important to find out what happens. Oh, so 90 years old is going to show a great deal more of wear and tear on the human body, so he'll be a good specimen to study. Oh, God. So much bile. See, that's the thing. SJWs are just miserable. I mean, like, they're all just so miserable and angry all the time.
He comes across as miserable, bitter, and a smart ass, and I'm not sure which one is worse.
They're all pretty bad. And let's be face it, George Takei, you're not even the best Sulu. Okay, let's be frank here. Let's not get excited with yourself.
Yeah, I watched the original series of Star Trek all the way through in 2016 through to 2017-ish, and I thought that Sulu was a delightful character. This is the first time I've watched them all like that all the way through since I was a kid, and I just thought he was wonderful. And it was around that time that George Takei started talking out of his arse, and every year he just shoots down in my estimation. He's had several accusations of bad conduct against himself, historically bad conduct, sexual conduct. Seems like Teflon. Nothing seems to scratch him.
Okay, so fine. So he replied to George by saying, "George, don't hate George. The only time he gets press is don't hate George. The only time he gets press is when he talks bad about me. He claims 50 plus years ago I took away a camera angle that denied him 30 seconds of primetime TV. I'm giving it back now by letting him spew his hatred for the world to see. Bill the pig." Okay, that's a reasonably classy response.
I think he's absolutely right. And it's about time George Takei. I mean, this guy, he must be 80. Why hasn't he got some perspective? He seems to have had a happy life. He's been married for years.
Who knows? Bitter people can't be happy when people they don't like are happy. Yeah, 1 second. But here, this is a story that I feel like I've been meaning to get to a week. This is the show. When I can really get to stories that I missed. But I think you'll appreciate this. Just trying to find where I put it. All drafts. There you go. 1 second. Go up here. There you go. Oh, is it opening? No. Oh, yeah, it is. Here we go. This is dailymail.co.uk. Failed to open. Try again. Hang on. Okay, well, let's do a search of Daily Mail. Okay. Maybe we took the story down. This is a big story.
Oh.
Here we go. We'll do a search. Where's the search? Okay, no. Oh, God, get out of my way with everything. Finger mouse. Does that give you any clue what the
Yeah.
It's a story that we need to look at.
I can't remember his name. Rick.
Yeah, where is it? Oh man, I got to hit 1 second. Okay, fine. The name of the headline is "Marijuana Like Cornflakes." So I can't argue with that. Play school. Okay, let's see if that shows it up anywhere. Really? Blimey. Hang on. Marijuana like cornflakes. Former.
I remember watching Play School when I was a kid. I'm not. If it turned out half the presenters were shit-faced, if it turns out half the presenters were shit-faced, I am not surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean, really? How else are you going to get through that? Here we go. It's not coming up. Where is this? Oh, here we go. Fingerprint of Rick Jones. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Basically, this is a bit of a downer, really. Well, this was from October 9th. Okay. Anything else? They got rid of the story. They must have scrubbed it. That's really weird.
Looks like it.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Censorship.
That took too long to get there. It's okay, fine. Let's go look. This is the other story I've been meaning to get to all week. And you're a good person to talk this over with. And a second. The season 17 Blu-ray extras, which I am very excited about.
Ooh. It's another glorious set by the looks of things.
Great cover. Yeah, very, very good. So we got. Where is this? Brand new documentaries, including making of documentaries for Destiny of the Daleks and a new featurette for Creature of the Pit. Good. I didn't know they were missing those. Tom Talks, a candid interview with Tom Baker as he gives his unique take on life, the universe, and everything. Oh, interesting. Douglas Adams tribute. Yeah, this is worth it for that.
Yeah, it's a nice idea.
Yeah, friends and colleagues remembered Doctor Who writer, script editor, and creator Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah. By the way, Big Finish right now, if you don't have them, has a good sell going on. Yeah. Which ties into
so Matthew Sweet has done a full hour with Bob Baker.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Jason Brad Baker, co-creator of K9, and the creative force behind Wallace and Gromit. But if you like season 17, there's a few here that you should definitely check out.
Oh, the novels.
Yeah, and they're very season 17, like The Well-Mannered War, English Way of Death, and Romance of Crime. These are pure season 17, all of them, and they're all excellent.
I have got a couple. I don't know which ones I've got because they're in my boxes upstairs on physical media.
These are all good. Okay, $6.50 a piece. These are all really good.
Fantastic value. What I ought to do is go back through my boxes and work out which ones I've got and which ones I haven't, and because I bought everything, absolutely everything physically until the 50th anniversary, and then I started to cherry pick.
I'm trying to decide whether or not to get Justice League physically. I mean, I got it on my hard drive, but do I paid for it by HBO Max? Do I have to get physical media as well? I don't know. Thinking about it.
It's a very special film.
Behind the Sofa is a good one because you got Colin Baker, Katie Manning, Matthew Waterhouse, Nicola Bryant, June Hudson, Graham Harper, and Matt Irving. That one I'm up for.
Yeah, it looks good.
Lala Ward interview, an extended interview discovering her first year on the program. Not really that interested. Updates special effect of Nightmare in Eden. These look excellent, right? Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, this is I'm a big fan of the Nightmare of Eden, and so to get the updated effects on that story, I pinching myself a little bit there. I didn't think that would happen. I would have imagined.
Well, they've already got updated effects on Destiny of the Daleks, I believe. What any others? Maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, Sharda, you get the updated version of the Lost Story, enhanced animation, presented in 6 episodes the first time, along with the 1992 VHS. And
I only bought the the Blu-ray of the omnibus one a few weeks ago, so I'm kicking myself a little there. Could have saved myself a couple of quid, but
what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, it's good. I'd rather watch it in 6 parts, and apparently the animation, they've tweaked it a little, so I'm down.
Oh,
for
really?
that.
I'm there. The Evil of the Daleks was just fantastic. That was just knocking it out the park. Good. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't, and I don't understand
so good.
how. I mean, you think about the reception to that compared to the reception to the Web of Fear one. It's.
Well, it's the same team who did Web of Fear. They're doing like a traditional animation, but they're doing for Galaxy 4.
Yeah, and I think that looks great. That's my kind of. I think that's the style that you should go for to communicate the story.
I like this style a lot better, frankly. Extended episode, an early cut Creature of the Pit. Interesting. Okay. New commentary on Destiny of Daleks and City of Death with Lala Ward and Catherine Shell. So that's interesting. Blu-ray trailer. We've seen a 5-1 sound of Destiny and Sharda. Rare gems from the archive. BBC material covering promotion of the city. I love that stuff. Yeah, convention footage. The triumphant 1997 appearance of Tom Baker. Yeah, that was huge. I remember that being a big deal. Production subtitles, galleries, behind the scenes information on every episode. Blah 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 blah. Pretty good. Yeah, should we watch the trailer?
It's really exciting. I like how they bill these now. They officially bill them as mini episodes of classic Doctor Who. The trailers.
By the way, have you seen the trailers of the? Here, let me show you the trailer of the Big Finish thing. The Dalek Universe, because this is actually.
Oh yeah, go on then.
This is representative of what it's actually like.
I have seen the one for the season 17 trailer, but I haven't seen this.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, I'll make it big. But it's very 80s Dalek, so I like it. So yeah, you legit get that. At last, we get a bit of Daleks.
That looks great.
Everything ends. Eventually. It is the way of life, of evolution. Survival of the fittest. The weak shall perish, and the strong shall thrive.
This is one of Terry Malloy's best Davros appearances. I just realized this speech very much echoes David Tennant's speech about in that first trailer he did. Everybody dies and everything ends.
That is the Dalek from Planet of the Daleks, there, isn't it? Sort of in
I think so. Yeah, he's about to talk about that. One second.
Until they become weak themselves, complacent and indolent, ceding their power to another. Some would call it inevitable. I would call it a challenge. To create the perfect life form, the ultimate survivor, a creature designed to be the supreme being of the universe before whom all must fall. I give you the Daleks. Everything ends. Eventually. Everything. Until now.
Yeah, it's a great. He's great in this. He really is. It's very good.
Terry Malloy is the best Davros. I've been saying it for years.
And he's got some really good ranting speeches as well. But he really knocked out of the park with this one. But yeah, it don't even bother with the other ones. There's no point. It's so annoying. They could have this could have been epic, right? I just wish I could go back and say, no, do this. No, put Daleks in all the box sets. It's important.
Maybe there'll be a sequel to this. Maybe they'll carry on with Tennant. Because he does seem to love making.
One of the reasons that the quality of a lot of this stuff isn't great right now is because they wrote them very quickly, because they didn't know because of lockdown.
Oh, I see.
They
Yeah,
like that's why that's something that Elizabeth Miles talks about her, and you can see, listen, given the constraints, she did a fair job stitching it together.
Yeah.
It was, to me, it's very obvious that River Song was bolted in for no apparent reason. You could have fulfilled a function with any number of things. So
they've spread Alex Kingston way too thin on the audios.
That's true. That's very true.
I could see why at the beginning, but I can't now after all these years.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back. I can't believe they're doing a third season, but they are.
Yeah, that is difficult to credit.
Lego people will now not have sex. They will not have gender, I should say. They will be amorphous. So, gender bias is harmful not to have a gender bias, right? It's, in my opinion. Chuck Dixon diagnoses why DC and Marvel Comics books are. It's quite easy. Read one. They're about lesbians sitting around being mopey, and then they go out and shout at men, and the men go, okay. So transgender Netflix employees are organizing a walkout and process of Dave Chappelle's new stand-up special, which is okay. Have you seen this?
I haven't. I saw Sticks and Stones. I haven't seen this new one though. Oh, it was your video about it that I watched, where you talk about his anti-Semitic gag. And then that's what it was. Sorry,
and I realized today, you know what happens when you're offended? You get over it. It's not a big deal, right?
I thought your handle on it was healthy, accurate, intelligent, and and I felt like I learned something by watching it. So,
there you go. That's a rarity for my channel. What we aim to please. I just had a theory. Maybe Netflix is using this as a way of disinfecting themselves from SJWs. Right? They're like, okay, if you're all going to quit.
Yeah, let him do the heavy lifting for them. Him and Ricky Gervais.
Okay. That saves us a lot of firings. Yeah, we're up for that, Netflix. But yeah, look, this is the same as Ralph C. Davis. This is just, they have two tricks, right? They can tantrum, or they can get you fired. And if they can't get you fired, they will tantrum. And that's it. And so we're seeing tantruming.
That's their two moves. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Right. And that's kind of what's going on with Rusty Davis as well. Yeah, it's...
is this guy guy or girl, whatever they are, somebody who says they're not offended and then sort of moans on and on and on about why Dave Chappelle is this, that, or the other. A very peculiar
Falcon Hell, for some reason, mentions a very peculiar practice of a comedy drama set in a university medical center.
It was.
Also, Peter left Doctor. Excellent. Freaking love that.
Great show. I haven't seen it for many years. It was a brilliant show.
Yeah. Okay, that you should watch with a double feature of with the flip side of Dominic Hyde. Have you ever seen that?
Dominic Hyde. I just one of my very favourite things ever. Particularly the first one, but I love them both. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. There's a story about this I wanted to get to. Which ties into Star Trek, of course. Everything ties into Star Trek eventually. New Ghostbusters look good. Demi Lovato's insane. No, we got to find. We're looking for Dr. Gay. Where is he? Dr. Gay. Here I am. I'm a gay man and a doctor. Yay!
He's a horrible bloke.
Yeah. Star Trek Discovery actor Wilson Cruz claims Dave Chappelle comedy special is responsible for violence. No, it's not.
How's he worked this one out then?
Okay. No, Star Trek Discovery is responsible for violence, mainly self-harm. Okay, but we'll gloss over. How many suicides have been made by Star Trek Discovery? I would say a few. I was a Gene Rodriguez person. Star Trek Discovery actor Wilson Bruce recently claimed the latest Dave Chappelle's comedy special on Netflix, The Closer, was responsible for violence. Oh, tell us how, little Ricky Cruz. He says on Discovery, he reacted to an article from Hollywood Reporter. He goes, is this how you're celebrating National Coming Out Day? We are Netflix. Celebrating the violence. Is your content is responsible by canceling your hashtag Twans employees for speaking the truth. No, it's for leaking information. She leaked the business the payments to Dave Chappelle, how much he's making.
Really?
Yeah. Quite right too. That
I would have thought some of the things that she was saying earlier in the week probably counted as gross misconduct. This definitely is gross misconduct.
Yeah.
Given a choice between which one are they going to potentially risk losing from the Netflix sort of drop-down menus, that Dear White People or any opportunity for further Dave Chappelle specials? I think Dave's
Dr. Gay. So Dr. Gay's mad. So I work at Netflix. Yesterday we looked at another Chappelle special where he attacks the trans community. No, he did not attack the chick. You're just insane. You're an insane, ugly person addicted to. Really?
People have got this. There's lots of people, lots of sections of society at the moment that have this low bar for what constitutes an attack. It's just ludicrous. You can't mention somebody in passing without it seeming to count as an attack. Just a joke, an absolute joke.
Here, the story is by Petey Rich. She leaked Dave Chappelle's wage under NDA and got the boot. Yes, it's very different. I attacked the very validity of transness. Here's the thing. I'm Jewish. That means I don't believe Jesus was the Son of Christ, the Son of God, right? I don't believe that's my basic I don't believe Islam, Muhammad was a prophet sent by God. I don't believe that, okay? That's why where we're different. It's cool. It's okay. I'm not saying the Christian person doesn't exist. I'm saying I don't believe in their worldview. Equally, they don't believe in my world, and it's cool. We've learned to be okay. That's not an attack. I'm not denying his existence. They're not denying mine by saying they believe in Jesus. No, we all exist. We just think different things. You think that you can define that one's self-definition is more important than their physical organs. I don't, okay? But let's live and let live, okay? And Dave Chappelle, he essentially just said, can we all live by the same rules and the same standards? Can they? And those rules just stay the same? Can they not change? Like one of the things he talked about was like when a trans person called the police on him, and he says, "You call police on Batman, someone's going to jail. Doesn't matter if they're right. It's just like you don't do." It said, you're one of the progressive stack until you feel scared, and then you're white again. I'm like, you know what? I kind of hear what you're saying there, Dave. It's not that he was lying. It's not that he was invalid. It was that he was telling the truth. That was his
yeah, nothing upsets these characters more than just some cold truth.
Yeah, I can't stand it. Well, trying to pit us against other marginalized. Yeah, they all can't stand you. Okay, we're going to hear a lot of talk about offense. We are not offended. Oh, well, that can shut up. Again, I you know what, Tara, you need attention. Look at this. Oh God, look, stop. Nobody cares.
No.
Stop. I can't. Fine. Oh,
so where does Wilson Cruz of all people come into it?
But way to bury the fact that they burst into a meeting unannounced. I'm sure if they had lodged their complaints properly, this wouldn't be the case. Way to conflate the truth. That's what they do. That's what these people do. Fine. I'm hungry. Which which means the podcast is coming to an end. That's basically how I time things. People ask me, how much do I charge? I said, I charge when I'm doing my straight work, web design, graphic design, video production, whatever. I said, I charge by irritation. I have a base fee. And then however much more you irritate me is how much more I charge you because you're annoying me, okay? And that's not fun. I'll tell you when you're annoying me, and I'll give you an out. But if you want to annoy me, then I'm going to charge you for that, right? It's like, that's a billable good, right? And they're like, most people actually hear that, right? They're like, if you don't want to hire me, fine. But, and I'll do whatever my client wants. But I always feel like we're saying it's probably not the best. It's probably not the best idea to do a big pair of bollocks on your packaging, sir. No! We want the bollocks. Okay.
Yes, I've had clients like that over the years, definitely.
It's like you've seen that.
Particularly when it comes to colourways, and they say, "No, I wanted to have those colours because those are the colours of Aston Villa." And you say, "Well, but if you do that, then it makes it look this, or it doesn't show up well, or it just looks shit." No, it has to be those colours because I love the Villa. Okay, gets it printed.
I hate it when they anthropomorphize it. It's like, let's do singing buckets. I'm like, listen, the reason you're hiring me is because you come up with shit ideas like singing buckets, okay? When you go to a doctor, you go there because he knows more about the thing than you do, right? You come to me because you can't do it. Oh, I tell you, very rarely have I met a client that wouldn't be improved by holding their head underwater for 10 minutes, right? Normally that makes them a lot. And with that, the freelancer's prayer, we're going to sign off. I'm hitting the end broadcast button.